Welcome to AnimalCare Software. I'm going to walk you through kind of a general look at how everyday animal care staff interacts and uses the software. It really is designed to keep everybody on the same page as well as capture information and data and make sure things that are getting done in a timely manner, as well as holding people accountable for things that are assigned to them. So this landing page is our home dashboard. It is always a customized view based on permissions for every user. So a user will only see what they have permission to see. Right here, you can see that I've got the weather, and I've actually got a couple different locations set up, but for most facilities, they would just need to display the weather for the location of their facility. And you see some medical reminders. You see some view schedules here. If I click on that, it actually pulls up items that I have saved in my filter for schedules for my particular section. If I come back to this view, you'll see that everything is filtered based on my preferences. So I'm currently showing things for my section and things that are not completed here. I can recycle or reset that filter as user. Same thing with task. It's similar over here. I can't check off items from here. This is meant to be just a general overview of today's duties. Typically, the way most staff is going to interact with the software is once they come here, they're going to go to the daily reports. And the daily reports are just sections or subsections that you want to set up. For some bigger facilities, they might have many sections. For a small facility, they might just have one. But I will only see sections that I'm assigned to. And so that is another role and permission setting. So I'm going to go to the one that I use for all of our demos, which is Asia. So this is how we created the software for staff to interact, is that they typically do most everything from the daily report, including checking off medical reminders and tasks and filling out information for the day. Because typically staff isn't taking care of one animal at a time. They have a whole group of animals. A couple of things of note here on this daily report is if I'm a supervisor, I can actually come in here in the morning and I can get everyone's attention by saying that, we've got something that's important going on here. I can go ahead and write in a general note here. These are all customizable. You'll see that whenever you see a drop down, that an add new, that's a kind of a customizable thing. And I am logged in as an admin right now to show you what that view looks like. But if I wanted to make sure everybody read something, a couple things I could do. Of course, I can make sure that it's bold. I can also do something like select color here. So, colors are important to get everyone's attention. It'll try that. And then I can type in some unusual things in notes. For instance, I can tag sections, staff, animals. So say if I've got a veterinarian coming today, and we're going to be doing like a health check on the animal, I can write, something to get the attention of staff here. I don't think I have one for the health check, so I'm just going to do a health check and this is one of my example animals, Chook, which is an Asian elephant. And if I wanted to, I could also attach pictures or video here. If I pull this up, I've got a bunch of examples here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab video, elephant. Let's grab this test one here so you can see that photos and videos are actually embedded in the notes. And so when this comes up, this way when staff comes in, they can see that there's something that's important today because I've labeled that important. They can see this note here. There's some other ways that I can designate important information as a supervisor on here. I can create custom labels, and I actually have one for if the vet visit today. So just something that shows up. It also shows up in the calendar. So those are some of the kind of like nice things for a supervisor to communicate with staff what's going on. On the medical reminders, you can see there's one that's checked off. I can go in here and say I'm doing this PM1. This top part is going to either show a prescription, vaccination, some type of a treatment information, like other treatment. You can also like attach documents here if that's necessary. But to simply check it off, I can say that I can go back, say that I checked it off. Whether I completed this at 4, I can even say that somebody else had completed it. You can add in the amount that's appropriate. This is a welfare check, so I could type in a note here, like everything's okay, or I could, if there was some concern, I can also just type in things like that. I maybe have a welfare concern. These are all things that you create, or these hashtags for at Chook. And this is just for consistency and binding this information later. But these hashtags and tags can also not just be used for like tagging a note of something else that, that I'm looking for later. It also can create notifications. So anytime this hashtag is used, a email notification will go to the vet. So I don't want to get too into the weeds or too complicated with explanations, but just some of the features that are available in the software that help streamline not only that I did this PM welfare check, but you can see that even though I tagged, said I did it at 4 p.m. here, I said Christopher Clevin did it, it actually says who entered it and the exact time that it was entered. So you have a complete record of information. And so the responsible party here is of course, myself at this time. The task, these are really nice for things like confirming, say that everybody read the daily report, right? This is just read daily and SOP changes. And I could just come in here and check off my name, and everybody does that themselves. And of course, it says who completed it. Currently, this animal care staff section is just kind of, it's not generated by like who's logged in or anything like that. It's basically displaying who's assigned to a section, and then they can self-enter. But I can also enter in that other people are here as well. In the future, we hope to tie that into something like time card, like a time clock feature. Here is for attachments. So if there's something, other than say like a video or something, you can attach documents here, or just things that you want to be part of the permanent record. So like if I did have, say, an SOP change or something like that for my section, for the Asia section, I think I jumped too far. There we go. I can actually attach it here, and you can add notes to that as well. Right, and so maybe that I want to just record that there was an SOP change, right? That's coming out here, and again, I want everyone to read it, and so just a little attention getter there. Now, when the staff is doing this, right, some of the stuff is meant for, like you saw, the Red Daily SOP. Some of it can be used as a combination of training and accountability. So you see PM closing duties. I'll use that one as an example since I'm in the evening here. And so this would be all the things that are a part of that responsibility. They can be checked off one at a time. You can actually have multiple staff logged in all at the same time completing this, and it'll timestamp everything. This page, this daily report, is set up so that it's recording everybody that's on the page at once. You see there's my initials right there. And so it'll show everybody that's on this page, and they can all be filling it out at the same time. But it's really nice as a training tool that if someone doesn't necessarily know what's supposed to be done, not only can they check things one at a time, you see the progress report there. But if I'm brand new, right, I can go through and check them off one at a time. But if I'm an experienced staff member, there's the SOP, for instance. I can say, okay, daily cleaning, I know all the things I'm supposed to do. You have one checkbox and save. So that's kind of like daily tasks. Now, of course, there's going to be some other information that you're going to want to enter in. Sometime that's going to be based on like information for the section. And as I go to the section view here, I can look at everything in the section or just the animals. whenever I prefer. So the all is also going to display like the sections. So like if I wanted to enter something in oh, sorry, apologize. I clicked something here and changed my view. There we go. If I want to jump to the section, right, and enter notes in for the section, I can write a note here onto the section. If I click on the animal, you can see there's the two animals assigned to the section. I can click on the animals and it jumps to them. You can see all these different templates that are assigned. I don't want to get too overwhelmed with that. But as I scroll down, that's the only measurement that's been entered for the day currently. And if I want to jump to the other animal, right, I can do the same thing and enter in information. Here you can see there's a template assigned, so I can actually go and fill out just information for one animal. Now, we have some other features like a timeline view for things that are scheduled to be done at certain times. But really the heart and soul of this is creating templates. Basically think of this as a custom form for you to use. And so when you want to enter in information for an animal or a group of animals, I can simply go down here and start to type, right? So they didn't leave any food. You can see that as I'm typing and everything, that different things might pop up. Like if I type in 25 kilograms food offered, I'll get this notification here that the value is below the goal. So you can set goals for every value that's entered in. I can also write a note if I want. Attach pictures and videos to all measurements. And I also can copy this to the entire row. Now, of course, this is showing up because right now my view is all. I'm entering all information for the elephants, but let's assume I'm just entering it for 4 p.m. So let me select based on the schedule. And so this is what needs to be entered in. So, and then we'll do 75, right? And you'll see that there's no trigger there showing that I'm out of range. And if I go back to view the all, you will see that it's from this morning, that 25, that it's disappeared because now I've met the goal for today. Some other things that as I scroll down here for this particular one, you'll see that there's an area for calculated measurements right here. Let's scroll right here. There we go. And so you can set up for the software to do calculations. You can also create checklist items. And so this one has some examples of like, if I'm giving enrichment, like what categories did I give? You can set goals for that as well. And then notes that are kind of like have instructions and are pre-populated. So I work with every single facility. So you take the forms that you have, that you're currently filling out, whether they be paper or something like a Word doc or Google Doc or something like that, and we recreate that in the software. So this is an example of entering one in for animals, right, where I just hit please enter note. It's pre-populated. I can just type in the information right here and hit save. And of course, you'll see that it's timestamps it there. Let me show an example, though, where creating these templates can actually save time for instance, fecal test results. So here I've got all the animals in my section here. I can do fecal testing. I can enter in the results for all the animals. I can copy that value to the entire row. I can come over here and say this one's positive, for instance, which is going to give that trigger. I could go in here and enter values, and this is a template that I set up just for entering in fecal results for my particular section. And it's a real time saver to be able to copy across things and enter information in like that. It also is great for end of day information. If I've got some information that I need to enter in at the end of the day, like this Asia section, we'll use that one. So it's just a note field, but up at the top you see that it says under template details, right? All staff should be familiar with this. So here's the actual document, and then here's what's in the document. And of course, that's just nonsense, basically, but as a placeholder so you can see. And when I go to enter this in, it's set up so that someone can very quickly go in and type in all the information needed and just fill it out. And then you'll see some other things like instructions on, like if there was a disposition change, if I had like a birth or a death or something. When it says add hashtag, it's like if I type hashtag and then start to type disposition, you see I have all these different things like eggs laid, deceased, change, birth. And then, of course, I'd have to say, like, identify as much information as you typically would want, right? And that's all up to you on how you create this form. One last feature that's really great for animal care staff to see what's going on is this progress report. And so this progress report is able to take information or data, and you can see by week, month, or year. I'm going to select year here. So I can see what's going on. And it's really great. So if I have a sense that, an animal's weight is fluctuating, or they're leaving an excess amount of food or something, I have the data right here. And of course, if I changed from month view to year view, you can see that all of the graphs are changing. That's how it displays anything that's entered in as a measurement in the software. And I'm going to scroll all the way down here to the bottom. And here you'll see we've got a number of graphs that are like my enrichment categories. So I can say that like what this week, right, have I given for my enrichment categories. And I can have a quick view of like, okay, this is what I've given this last week, right, or last month, or by day, or looking at last week, right, for the last 7 days, last month. And so this is really a valuable tool to put into your animal care staff hands. Now, there's some other features that I can certainly walk you through in the software, but this is essentially how most animal care staff is going to work with the daily reports. And to review them, they can simply click back on a given day to view it. The other thing they can do, if you prefer, is you can have a PDF view of that, and I'll actually show that before I end this record that I'm going to share to show you that everything you see on this page in electronic form, you can generate to have basically like a paper readable version of it as well that includes everything that you had assigned for the day, things that were completed, include timestamps. You'll see if there was something that was left unchecked on the software, it's going to show up unchecked here. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly with any questions or comments. My email address is dave@animalcaresoftware.com. Please never hesitate to contact me for assistance at dave@animalcaresoftware.com. Click here to subscribe to more helpful how-to videos from Animal Care Software.